In 2013, I handed in my resignation beginning of December because, for a while I had felt like there is something out there for me. I was in finance at the time and I just felt finance was not doing it for me. There is a life out there waiting for me, right? But the thing that I did is that I actually handed in my resignation without knowing what that thing was. But I just was convinced that unless I resigned from my job, I wouldn't have an opportunity to explore this thing that I thought was out there for me. And fast forward to 2016, I was home with no job, with no direction for my life. I was just so miserable, right? I mean, I would have those moments that would just attack me of deep somber, of deep sorrow, right? Because I just was feeling guilty about the decision that I had made almost 3 years ago. I mean, in 2016, that's when it hit me that how stupid could I be? Why would I leave a job without a plan, right? So I really felt guilty in 2016 because nothing was going as planned. Well, I didn't even have a plan. But the plan was to be a success, right? But I was just looking like a failure in that year up until the one time I was at church and one of the mothers said to me, you know what, I dreamt about you and God was saying there's a cloud over you and you need to get out of it. And she said to me, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? I said, no, ma, I'm all right. I'm okay. Then I went home. I remember that day and I dropped down on my knees by my coffee table and I started sobbing. I was crying my eyes out for hours. I remember praying, asking God to forgive me for doubting Him, asking God to restore my mind, to restore my soul. I was just praying away, right? For hours. And when I stood up from them, that's when I decided, you know what, I need to change my life. I need to accept my past decisions for what they are, because I mean it was a decision I had made 3 years ago and I wasn't gonna reverse that decision. When I decided to accept the past for what it was, then I was able to forgive myself for that decision and to accept the position I was at the time and to start making plans about where I wanted to see myself with a new hope for the future, with a new faith in God, right? So I realized at the time that, the most difficult thing about trying to forgive yourself is not accepting the past for what it is. So it is important to firstly accept your past in order for you to forgive yourself. Don't wish it away because it won't change. The minute you start accepting it, you will start your healing process. It will start becoming easier to forgive yourself and start making plans again for the future. So today I want to talk to you about forgive yourself for peace sake. I am Pulaa Montz, your inner voice magnified. When that mother said to me, I dreamt about you and God said there's a cloud that you need to get out of, I knew it was God. Because you see, this is how my life was. I was happy, genuinely happy when I was with people. But I would have those days, those moments where deep sorrow would come through. And, I would be so sad. I would feel so guilty for messing up a good life that I had. I blamed myself for that decision. I just thought, God gave me everything at an early age, but I had to just go and mess it up. I thought at the time, like, who just quits their job without having a plan. Really, so I would have those moments where deep sorrow would fill my heart and my spirit will be so down, right? But when I would be with people, or sometimes, most of the time even, at home or when I'm with people, I'd be okay, I'd be happy, but it would just hit me like a ton of bricks when it came through. And I never shared that with anybody. No one. And when that mother said that to me, I knew that was God. I knew that was God. And I knew it was time for me to accept the decisions that I had made, or the decision that I had made to leave my job almost 3 years ago, and to forgive myself for it, because basically to me that message said God still has a hope and a future for you. So today I just wanted to remind you, maybe you might have made bad decisions over and over again with relationships, maybe that right now you are at the point where you are saying, you know what, I don't need a relationship in my life. You've built walls so high that you say you don't need love anymore, right? But I just wanted to say, you know what, there is nothing you can do about your past decisions, but accept your past for what it is. Do not wish it away. Do not pray it away. Accept it, because it is what has made you the person that you are today. It is because of these those experiences that you are the kind of woman you are today, or the kind of man that you are today. So never wish your past away, right? Once you've accepted it for what it is, start the process of forgiving yourself. And you can forgive yourself when you start learning the lessons. Notice the kind of person that you are right now as a result of those past mistakes that you've made, right? Notice the kind of growth that has happened in you, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Maybe you used to be an emotional wreck, but right now you are able to see a difficult situation and think about it with a clear head because of those experiences that you had. Once you start picking up the kind of things that you have become as a result of your past decisions or past mistakes, then you'll start being able to see that it was actually necessary for you to make those mistakes in order for you to become the person that you are. And once you realize that there is something to be appreciated from those mistakes, then you'll start the process of forgiving yourself. And I tell you, forgiveness brings peace, because you start having a new hope for your life. When you are living in guilt, you are stagnant, you are reliving a moment, a season that happened a long time ago. You keep reliving it, and by reliving it, it means you are not moving away from it. You are not making plans for the future. You are busy wasting your brain with the things that have passed, instead of using your mind to see the future, to have a vision again for your life, to dream again, right? So stop blaming yourself for not going to school. Start today. I know that there is, if you didn't do matric, hey, there is night classes that you can attend, night school that you can attend, right? And get your matric. In tertiary, there's no age. Whatever age that you are, you can enter into tertiary and get the qualification that you want. Just forgive yourself for skipping school when you were younger and now your life is a mess. Accept your decisions. Accept your life for what it is and start planning now. There is still hope for you. You are never too old to start again. You are never too old to start again. It was 3 years ago when I decided again, after getting a job later, I got a job in 2017 July, right? But by December 2018, I knew at the time that now I know what I want to do. And again, 5 years later, in December, again, after the first resignation, 5 years later, 2018 December, I again handed in my resignation. But the difference this time was, I knew exactly where I was going, and I knew exactly what was awaiting me on the outside. I drew some lessons from the time I had resigned the first time. Right now, when I resigned, I had a plan and I started studying towards the thing that I want. Right now, I'm writing my final exams for psychology, and it goes hand in hand with the work that I'm doing right now every day on this platform, right? So all the decisions that you make, once you start seeing the person that you have become as a result of those decisions, then accepting your situation or your decisions or your past for what it is becomes easier, and forgiving yourself becomes easier, and planning and having a hope for a better future starts becoming your reality. So please never wish away or pray away your past. It has made you who you are. I am Pulaa Montz, your inner peace and purpose coach.